Here is a copy of our project charter sample. This is the sample project I'll be using throughout the class to demonstrate some of our module instructions. We begin with a header and who's writing the document. We have a footer, page numbering, revision dates, plus a revision history. I assume that a charter is going to go through multiple reviews, some revision. Each time we republish, either as a draft or as a final document, we document what version we are currently looking at. So whoever is reading this document knows they have the most current version. Table of contents. All of this can easily be done in Word. It gives us a professional look, and it's what our customers should expect from us. In the project background, I'm trying to give some sense of the context of the project. So anyone reading this document, and remember, our steering committee, our executives, our sponsors may be looking at 5, 10, or more projects. It's helpful to give them background and just get them page 1 or in agreement, alignment on what's in the charter. Here I talk a bit about the history and about the need for this project, where this is a key product component, and we're going to have a stock out if we don't grow. Our success has overwhelmed our California facility. We're now looking at a North Carolina facility, and so this project is building out that facility in order to make sure that we have continued capacity. Objectives should be SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-based. I think that's all of them. And so my objectives here are to expand the capability, retain our profit margins, and produce a high-quality product. I'm not talking about deliverables. I'm not talking about what I'm producing. I'm talking about the return on investment being a bit more high level. We will talk about deliverables in subsequent pages. Our scope statement gives a high-level overview of the scope, the initial analysis of power, ventilation, and air filtration, purchasing of lab equipment, configuration, development, etc., etc. And we also talk a bit here about personnel. Who's going to work on the project? If we remember my description of the charter, it's who, what, when, where, why, and how. All of this contributes to that statement of how we're going to execute this project. Pull this down a bit. On the project approach, here's where we talk about how we're going to execute. We're going to follow a standard construction life cycle. We're going to build quality targets, on-site examination, etc. The next table documents our deliverables and milestones. Notice they're time-based. Remember, SMART objectives: specific, measurable, achievable. These dates help us manage, or we can put these dates into our work breakdown structure and our schedule so that we're managing the project to conclusion. And we know that our deliverables and milestones are being met. They're very specific, measurable things that occur within the duration of the project. A listing of our costs. Notice the formatting: dollar signs, commas delineating thousands. I even put cents in even though there are no cents. I personally am somewhat offended when I look at someone's cost list and there's no formatting. The numbers are hard to read, it's easy to misinterpret, and it's so easy to format them in a readable fashion. If you fail to do that, it just looks sloppy. From a project impact, who's involved, what potentially, or who's affected by this? I'm going to need to get resources from resource managers in order to be able to accomplish this project. Here's where I start documenting at a high level what that resource requirement is. And then finally, my preliminary risks or constraints. We have to do this project. We just need to be mindful of what risks may prevent our on-time delivery of the project. We may have a limited availability of raw materials, a lack of educated staff with background in macrobiology. There could be significant facility rework. due to engineering problems, or there could be excessive delays in license application review by the FDA. Okay? This is our charter. When you're writing your charters, I want you to be mindful of you're describing for me, your project sponsor, how you're going to solve my problem or help me achieve my opportunity, take advantage of my opportunity. Who, what, when, where, why, how. Be clear, be concise, and be specific.